What is up, guys? My name is Asteroid and welcome back to the next episode of the Pokemon Competitive Guide. So guys, today we're going to be going in and covering Quack, aka Porygon 2 and Porygon Z. Thanks to Elias. Thank you for suggesting this, Elias, of course. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys want your favorite Pokemon, or just any Pokemon in general to be covered in this series, then of course leave a comment down below, and I will definitely get on that. So, anyways, you guys know I'm bulk recording a lot of videos, and this video should be going up on Sunday, which I will of course be out of town. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so that's pretty cool. But without further ado, guys, let's start off with the first set. So we're going to be starting off with Porygon 2 today, and then we'll move on to Porygon Z. And I believe that this is the second episode that we've ever had where we covered two Pokemon in the same episode. And I think the last time that happened was the Latios and Latias episode. But anyways, random knowledge aside, let's get started, of course, with Quack here. So the primary item you want to run on Porygon 2 is, of course, going to be Eviolite. Porygon 2 is a very bulky Pokemon because it has base 90 in defense and base 95 in special defense. Very insanely bulky, especially with that Eviolite and the 85 HP. It takes hits for days, only has one weakness, which is fighting. It also has one immunity, which is Ghost. Now, for the EVs, you want to go max special defense, max HP, and 4 in defense. I decided to go with the positive defensive nature just to allow that defense stat to catch up with the invested special defense stat. So that's worked out very well. You have 238 in defense and 289 in special defense, so they're pretty much equal, making yourself very bulky on both sides of the spectrum. And of course, combining this with your HP investment and your Eviolite, you're going to be taking hits for days. So you could, if you really wanted to, you could go with a fully specially defensive Porygon. That is all up to you. Go with the sassy nature, try to get the most out of that special defense. Now, I'm going to be covering why we're going with a minus speed nature in a second here. But what you could also do is you could invest less into special defense, and you could possibly invest more into defense. You can go with like 128 here in special defense, and then 128. So you could do something like that where you invest an equal amount of EVs into both stats. That is 100% up to you. But moving on, we have the moves here. We have Recover for the nice and powerful health recovery. Recover is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. And it's just another great reason why Porygon 2 is a fantastic tank. Moving on, we have Toxic for the Toxic Stall. Very nice move there. And then, of course, we have Ice Beam and Thunderbolt for the coverage. Now, if you didn't want to run Ice Beam or if you didn't want to run Thunderbolt, we have a ton of different special moves here. We have Blizzard. You could definitely use Discharge if you're running like a double set with, say, like a Mega Sceptile. You can get that Lightning Rod boost. That could be pretty nice. You could run, like, I don't know, Psyshock, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. All these moves are very great. Choose the two moves that would definitely work out best with your team. Now, you could run Tri-Attack and get some stab going as well, but I decided to go with the coverage moves over the stab at Tri-Attack, just so you can hit the dragons and, of course, the water types and flying types. So, moving on, we have the ability. Now, the ability that we have here is Analytic, which is going to make it so that way if you move last, your attack is going to have 1.3 times power, which is very powerful. And that's why we're going to be going with 0 IVs in speed and the minus speed nature to ensure that you're not going to be outspeeding anything. You're going to be moving last no matter what, and that Analytic is going to be giving you that boost. So I do recommend that, but if you wanted to run like Trace, then you could, and I can see Trace being very useful because if they lead with a Landorus, then you can Trace the Intimidate and intimidate them right back. That is definitely not a bad thing at all. So Trace does come in handy every once in a while, but I think Analytic is definitely the way to go here. You could also go Download, I guess, if you really wanted to, but seeing as you're not running any physical attacks, it could end up backfiring, especially if you do get that attack boost when you swap in. So I think that is pretty much it for Quack here, guys. Pretty simple. Recover, Toxic. You could run Protect if you really wanted to, but you're so bulky to begin with that Recover should be just fine. But anyways, though, let's move on to Porygon Z. I'm sure you guys have already noticed, but both Quacks are very diverse. So if you guys have any sets that you like to run that I may have missed, then let me know down below. I definitely like to hear it. But anyways, we have Porygon Z here. The adaptability is so real. Adaptability is fantastic. It's going to make it so that way your stab moves have a 2 times boost instead of a 1.5 times boost. So all your normal type moves are going to be doing a lot more damage. Now, you do have Analytic and you do have Download. I would not recommend Analytic on Porygon Z because you are somewhat of a fast Pokemon. So you really don't want to be running that. and download could be okay, but then again, if you do get the attack raise, then it's really not going to benefit you in any way, so I would recommend adaptability 100%. But anyways, you guys can see right here, we have a Choice Scarf set. Quack gains a lot of special attack when it evolves. It goes from 105 special attack to 135 special attack, but you guys can also see that Quack loses a lot of bulk when it evolves, so it's no longer a very bulky Pokemon. It's more of a frail offensive Pokemon. So anyways, max speed, of course, max special attack, 4 in HP. With the modest nature, we're going to be going with the Scarf here to make up for your subpar speed. But the Scarf will definitely get you over that 100 mark, and of course make you outspeed a lot of different Pokemon. If you wanted to run Timid as your nature, then you could, but I'd recommend the Modest. Just go all out with the offenses, and of course, if you wanted to swap the items around, you could go with the Timid nature and the Choice Specs, if you really wanted to. So that is 100% all your choice. But for the moves, we have Tri-Attack. Now, Tri-Attack is really, really good. It doesn't get stab. It's base 80 power, a special move that is going to get the adaptability boost as well. And it does have that 20% chance to paralyze or burn or freeze the target. We did talk about Tri-Attack in the previous competitive guide, and it does really put in nothing but the finest. So moving on, we have Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Dark Pulse for the coverage here. Very, very powerful. Now, we do have some more special moves you could run in place of Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, or Dark Pulse. So starting off here, we have Discharge. If you wanted to run Discharge instead of Thunderbolt, then you could. And it would definitely be a very great option paired with a Mega Sceptile, as I was talking about earlier, or any other Volt Absorb Pokemon in a double battle. Discharge could definitely be a very great option. Then we have Psychic and Psyshock for the fighting types, if you wanted to run that. We also have Shadow Ball for that extra coverage there, of course. We have Signal Beam for the bug type coverage. We have Hyper Beam, and I wanted to mention this. If you really wanted to, you could run an adaptability boosted Stab Hyper Beam on this set. And I think that'd be powerful. I personally prefer the Tri-Attack, but if you wanted to be very risky and very, very dominant, I guess you could say, then you can smack on the Hyper Beam instead of the Tri-Attack, and that will be sure to put in nothing but the finest. But for the final move, we have Icy Wind, which I figured I'd smack on there for doubles. It does lower the speed of the opponent by 1, but that's pretty much it, guys, for this set. It does outspeed a lot of things and put in a lot of work. So let's move on to the final Porygon set. Porygon Z does get Nasty Plot, so I decided to run a more setup Porygon Z. You guys can see right here we have max special attack, max speed, and 4 in HP, same as before. But since we're boosting our special attack with the Nasty Plot, I decided to go with the Timid nature there, just to get the most out of your speed. You're really not going to need the Modest nature. You're going to be setting up your special attack for days as it is, so I would not recommend it. Go with the speed with the Timid nature and try and outspeed some things. So starting off, we have Nasty Plot right here, of course, the star of the show. Get that +2 special attack and absolutely wreck. We have Tri-Attack, which you could replace with Hyper Beam if you wanted to. But, yeah, Tri-Attack is there, of course, for the stab. We have Dark Pulse for the coverage. And we have Psyshock for the fighting types. And, of course, more coverage there. So if you wanted to run more of the previously stated moves on this set, then you can definitely mix and match them and pick a moveset that will benefit your team the most. But of course, for the ability, we have Adaptability is the way to go. Get that nice and powerful boost on the Tri-Attack. And for the item, we have Focus Sash. Now you can run Life Orb, you can run Expert Belt, you can run Citrus Berry maybe, or you could even run Normal Gem for that Tri-Attack, or maybe even Lumberry, I don't know. But there's a lot of different item options here. But I overall decided to go with the Focus Sash, just so you are guaranteed a Nasty Plot setup, because you do not have that good of bulk. So you want to make sure you're getting up that Nasty Plot and making sure that you can put in nothing but the finest. But I think that is it for Porygon today, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button down below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!